Well, hello, hello. Welcome. Download and delete episode 52. I am the co host, Shauna Lucas.
And
And
I am Ty Montier, innovating creative, everything about my mindset.
there you go. I was
There
about
we
to
go.
say, you're not going to say your motto, your
My
mantra, your
branding
tagline,
statement.
your personal
Hello.
statement.
Welcome to another wonderful episode. We are back in
Yes,
effect for
yes,
2023.
that's right.
It's March.
It is. St.
March
Patty's
Madness
Day
was
time of
yesterday.
year.
Did you
Yeah.
celebrate yesterday?
No.
Me neither.
No, I mean,
I did the same thing I did for Black History Month on
mm,
St. Patrick's Day.
which is what?
Absolutely nothing.
Did you have some corned beef?
I did not.
I said black people eat corned beef on St. Patty's Day,
I
but
know a lot of
no,
people
nobody
did.
else does. I don't think Irish people even eat corned beef
I
on
think
St.
they
Patty's Day.
do. I
Do
think a
they?
lot of restaurants, a lot of Irish restaurants sell corned beef. I know
Okay.
people went yesterday and they were packed. Like
Okay.
McBob's was packed yesterday,
Of
and different
course.
restaurants had corned beef sandwiches, which would be so good if I didn't make some chili.
Chili. Okay.
Yeah.
You were celebrating a different holiday.
I was celebrating Cold Eve. It
Whatever
was
that
cold
is.
outside.
Cold.
Cold Eve.
Celebrating cold weather season.
The end of cold weather season. How about that? Since it's spring
Yeah.
forward
That's
time.
right.
Yes, we sprung forward, and I was so messed up. That's probably why I'm so mellow tone because I've been messed up.
It's catching up with you?
Yes,
Mm,
like it's really messing with me, and
mm.
that's why I didn't do anything today but chill and made some chilies because I wanted to get some rest because I haven't been able to sleep like I want to.
Do you want them to vote to get rid of daylight savings time?
I do,
Do you?
I do.
I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that because sometimes it comes in clutch.
It does work, but I think we get so accustomed to being light out early like because I have a second job, so I get off at 7, and if I get off, I like to see the daylight instead of it being dark. And it seems like when you fall back, the time goes back. It's like the day goes by so slow. But when it's the spring forward, when we have daylight savings, the days go by so fast.
Yeah,
And then you're home and it's still 8 o'clock and daytime outside. And you're like,
I
oh,
like
it's eight
that.
o'clock. I still can kick it. Hey, I
Right,
ain't gotta go to bed yet.
right.
So it works out.
Yeah, it does.
It does. It can.
Well, like every episode, we want to start off with a motivation moment. Do you want to tell us what you're motivated by today?
Whew, I am motivated by the will to get up and go. Sometimes, we just have to motivate ourselves to get up and go. So, hey, if you got that will, that zest, that all you got is to get up and go feeling, that's what I'm motivating today because that's what I'm doing. Just get up and go. I think I'm a robot right now.
A robot.
Yeah, I'm working in robot time,
Well, robots are real right now, so
which is scary because I've seen Megan, which is pretty good.
you think we're gonna get to that point where we?
Yes.
Okay, well,
And I have to report back to you guys. I tried to watch Triangle of Sadness and it made me sad. It's kind of like, what am I watching?
that's why it's
These
called
people are
Triangle of
on
Sadness.
this boat and it's sinking and it's crazy. I just want it off. I stopped it. I was like, I have to watch something on PBS right now. I don't know. It just took me for a loop.
Yeah, so you got to finish it though because
Okay.
I feel like the movie is in 3 acts. So
Okay.
it's
It
like
is. It's like
yeah,
the ship was one, like,
and then
yeah.
the beginning, their relationship,
I
the
meant to tell
twos.
you
Yeah,
guys that I found Triangle of Sadness.
I really like
Was
that
that the
movie.
movie you and Tone told me to watch last time? I
Perks of being a
tried that too,
wallflower.
and that was okay.
Okay, but
I
you didn't like
uh,
Triangle of Sadness. It
I
didn't win in the Oscars, by the way.
I can see why.
Okay, did you see the Oscars?
No,
Okay, but do you know that Everything Everywhere All at Once won like everything
I'm sure it
everywhere?
did. Everybody liked that movie.
Okay, I'm just
Are
okay
you
about it.
okay about it because it was an
I
Asian lady
mean, I feel like
instead
I
of
I have to say
Angelina?
that
I
it
mean
was
Angelina.
okay because everybody like wants to jump on you if you say you don't like it, but
I've never seen. I want to see it because I heard it was phenomenal.
I mean, there's some parts where I'm like, okay, like, all right, y'all. I
I
mean,
like a lot movies. I like movies like that, so I'm really eager to see it. I'm really
I feel like it's a movie for the TikTok generation, honestly. So, I mean, it's
okay.
like one of those things. Everybody's like, yeah, I mean, this is how movies are going to be from now on. I'm like, God, I hope not.
Oh, like how Roku TV has like those 8-minute episode series. Like that's
Oh,
how,
that
yeah.
exists.
And it's really good because it's this one show on there, and I watched it, and every episode is like one episode is like 8 minutes, another episode is like 13. But when I tell you, it's so good.
Really?
It's so good. And I was like, okay, I can kind of jive with it
Okay.
because they give you everything. It's not no drawn out bull crap, no filler. It's just the episode, next episode, next episode. And it comes together. It's like a movie broken up.
Okay. I have to see that.
It's a show on Roku TV. I think it's Nowhere to Run. It's really good.
Okay. I don't
I
know.
was going to watch Swarm on Amazon Prime, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much to watch. I can't even deal with it. That's why I need to
That's why I'm
be
on
intentional.
PBS.
Yeah, okay. So, I mean, I
What's
just
your motivation, Mama Shauna? I'm
um
sorry I got lost in a tangent.
so anyway, you know what I'm going to talk about because it's almost April and it's almost April 4th and I realized last show, I believe, I talked about the primary results and being
Mhm.
motivated by the number of people who showed up for the primary elections, which was like a record in Milwaukee. And we all know that the Wisconsin Supreme Court election or the race is really high profile right now because it is high stakes.
They're
You
trying to take
know,
away more social liberties.
yeah, I mean, if so, there's a conservative majority in the Supreme Court right now in Wisconsin. So if the liberal backed candidate Protasewicz, see, I learned how to say her name. If she wins, that it would shift the courts. It would shift it for in favor of liberals. If Daniel Kelly wins, the court would maintain a conservative majority. But last time I think I said that Kelly was out because he didn't win in Milwaukee, but he won in the state. I mean, like people overwhelmingly voted for him to come out of the primary. So
which
the
is
two
scary.
is very scary. He was a former state Supreme Court and he was
He's backed by
voted
Trump.
out. Yep, Trump backed. So which is why he
MAGA
lost.
Trump. MAGA endorsed. Let me not just say Trump.
Yeah, he lost for a lot of reasons. I don't need to get into that now, but so the on the ballot for April 4th, it'll be Janet Protasewicz, the
Who we
liberal
want to
backed
vote
candidate,
for.
and so she's a Milwaukee County judge right now, and then Daniel Kelly is a former state Supreme Court justice, and I think
We
he's just
won't be
doing like
mentioning his name
some political
anymore.
action that he does not need to be named
Kelly.
anymore.
It's Janet Kelly, right?
Janet
Janet Protege.
Janet Protasewicz.
Brandon Brandon Protege.
Okay, so it's easy to mess up her last name, but you just butchered the
You
first
know
one
how
too,
grandparents butcher names. That's how I feel like I did Janet Protege.
so Protasewicz.
Protege. I think I just ruined her name, but I really want her to win. I'm gonna vote for her, no matter what it takes. I need Janet Protege to win.
Yes, so I wanted to make sure I correct that incorrect statement that I made
he
last
not
show.
even on the, no, he didn't make nothing incorrect on the last show.
It was
All we
wishful thinking.
concerned
It was
is
hopeful thinking.
Janet Protege.
Yes. So
Janet Protege.
and in other election news, just south of us in Chicago, I don't know if you knew that Lori Lightfoot is out of the mayoral race. She did not make it through the primary in
Is she
Chicago.
a Native American?
Lori Lightfoot is the current mayor of Chicago. She's the black woman mayor
With the short hair, so
with
she
the
lost.
She is out of the.
Well, you know what?
mayoral
She was
race.
tired, child. She looked like she was a little bit over it. Mother looked like she had exhausted all her means. She just wanted to get back to her wife. Ain't she married?
Yeah, she is.
She wants to get
married.
back to her wife
Yep,
and a beer
Right.
and chill. Like Chicago has wore her
Go on
out.
vacation.
So
Chicago was not
I'm
good to
happy
her.
for her.
Yeah.
But Chicago wore that woman out. She didn't get an ounce of sleep.
Mm-mm.
Her and her wife barely had any intimacy.
Right.
I don't know. I'm just saying.
Stressed. So she is out. So right now, the candidates are a former Chicago Public School CEO, Paul Vallis,
No,
and Cook County Commissioner Brandon Johnson, and
hell no.
they're gonna be running. They'll be on the ballot in Chicago for the April 4th election.
Girl, this
So
here
I'm
cocktail is yummy.
I
I'm
know,
sorry.
I know. So I'm motivated by like a really important election cycle in America, and which will kick off our season of caucuses and political ads
Caucasus.
to get us ready for 2024.
All
So
right.
that's my moment.
That's what we are motivated by. So we're going to get right into our downloads, people. Strap up and get ready because it's time to download. So today's show is about current events
Yes.
and the shit that's going on around the world right now.
Yes.
And
Well, I didn't focus on the world, but I'll
well,
try.
not the world. Well, hey, it's not in Milwaukee, so it's around the world or in different states. And in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, or surrounding cities in Wisconsin. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
So, something I just read today that orange man is scared that he's about to be arrested or indicted for all of his tragedies in regards to that porn star who has a little doll that she believes in.
A doll?
Stormy Daniels. Yeah, she carries around a little doll.
Like a voodoo doll?
I guess it's a voodoo doll, but she calls it like a healing doll or whatever. Did you watch this in real life? She's brought the little doll there.
Oh no.
It was really funny to me that she had this little doll.
Was it like a Cabbage Patch type doll?
No,
Or
it
like
was
a Raggedy Ann looking doll?
you know those dolls that people sit on those dressers in like those old scary houses. It's like one
like
of
the
those.
glass eye doll?
Yeah, kinda. I think her name was like Annabelle or something like that.
No.
I don't know if her name was Annabelle, but it was something like that. She looked like Annabelle. So yeah, he's scared about that indictment. And then this is the tea that I got yesterday about this man from Milwaukee. He is a molester of children.
Is his name Chester?
No, I don't want to say his name, but I'll say it.
Okay.
His name is anyway,
okay,
he was in charge of like some homes for like young kids, and he was like bullying the young kids to sleep with them and lying to the kids to sleep with them.
Okay, so this is all alleged right now.
No, he got charged, and now he's
did.
serving 50 years or life in prison for it.
What?
But it's just sad and sick that people are molesting kids. Our children, people are molesting anybody. Nobody just, well, I'm finna pull this off like I'm finna sing. I pulled the mic off like I was getting ready to sing with it. Sing, child. But no, it's just really sad that people are so... Okay, this is a segue.
Okay.
But do you feel that since mental illness has become so mainstream that people are using mental illness as an excuse to do ignorant things or to act a certain way?
Well, I was reading in the Milwaukee local news, which is hard. There's an app that I have. It's called Newsbreak, and it gives you like all the news that's happening in Milwaukee.
Yeah.
And it's all like 2 people shot here.
I get that.
This 3 people stabbed here.
Uh-huh.
And it's like, oh my God, it's never anything positive.
Never
or
ending,
like never ever. And recently there was a 30-year-old woman stabbed a 19-year-old or a 16-year-old. She stabbed the 16-year-old. I don't know how old she was. She might not have been 30, but she was like an adult. And she stabbed a 16-year-old. And so for weeks, they never really told you why. And I just needed to know why. I'm like, okay, so why would somebody do that? That's crazy. He was 16 years old. Like, they do stupid shit all the time. Like, it's never stab worthy though, right? But I mean, they're just kids. Their brains are barely developed, right? So it comes out later on this same Newsbreak app that she said they have her picture on there. She's crying in her mugshot or whatever. And they explain like the events that led to the stabbing, and so apparently he had people over and he wasn't supposed to. So they had an argument and it escalated and she stabbed him. She got a knife. I guess they must have gotten into a fight. She got a knife, stabbed him, killed him. And the headline on the news article that talked about the incident read, a woman says she stabbed 16-year-old because, quote, she has anger issues.
So now you're blaming the mental illness on why you stabbed somebody. See, it's crazy. And the only reason I said that is because, of course, this man's defense for molesting these kids was because he was molested and he had mental illness, which is a valid interest in regards to a defense. I would be interested in that defense. Like, okay, let me hear about your past. But to know that you have a mental illness and to commit something or to do something is a different thing. Because to me, to be found innocent because you have a mental illness is because, hey, I didn't know I had multiple personalities until it was brought to my attention. I never knew it. You know what I'm saying? Like something like that is saying like, okay, you have a mental illness. But if somebody just goes around and says, yeah, I'm schizophrenic, you're not schizophrenic because you know it. So if you know that you're schizophrenic, you should be medicating yourself, right?
Right. Well, did the person who was found guilty for doing this in this group home, did he try to plead like insanity or something like that? Is that what he was doing? Or he just wanted to say?
No, like the community talks because he was a gay man. So, people were trying to say he was saying he was had mental illness and that was going to be like a defense or something like that.
I see.
And I'm just saying, like, I think people are now trapped in the saga, either or, of using mental illness as an excuse, like caught up in stuff. Like I could go out and I could be pissed off at something else and go into a store and shoot some people and say, hey, I had a mental illness, a nervous breakdown. And now my sentence will be lighter because I said I had this thing because I've heard or I've seen people talk about it. It's been so mainstream that now I think that that's the now for me. You know what I'm saying? That's just something. And, I don't know if you know anything about it. Do you know who Chrisean Rock is?
Isn't she the one who is dating that rapper?
Unsigned rapper.
He's unsigned.
He's richer than me, so I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know why I know about them because it's just.
Kids. But
yeah, probably
supposedly she's pregnant and drinking. Can you drink when you're pregnant?
You're not supposed to. And if you do, you don't really need to talk about it. I mean,
or being seen drinking.
They say that you can drink wine or
like
whatever,
red wine,
but it's
right?
still but it's still taboo. It's still like some stigma attached to that. So
to drinking red wine.
Yeah, when you're, nobody wants to see a woman with a big belly like drinking anything. I mean, you're supposed to. They don't even want you changing kitty litter or
changing kitty litter when you're pregnant.
Yeah, you're not even supposed to take ibuprofen or like. There's all these things that you shouldn't do. That's not good for the baby. So why would you be drinking?
Pregnant women scare me only because it's like, you're pregnant, you're a patient. And I know it's like, I need to be treated like a human. I'm pregnant. I'm a soldier. I can handle this because I'm bringing life into this world. I don't know. I'm just so like iffy with pregnant women. It's like if I see a pregnant woman running, I'm like, what's going on? Or she's running.
Where do they run?
I don't know.
Oh, I've seen them walk.
I've seen them jog. I've seen pregnant women jog. Did you jog when you were pregnant?
I didn't jog, but I walked very fast.
Swiftly. Oprah walks. Tone's watching porn while we're on air. No, I'm joking. I'm joshing.
That's hilarious.
He's not working on something for
us. No. He doesn't like us.
Yeah.
We're the nappy-headed stepchild of the podcasting network. Anyway. Oh,
nobody cares about us, Shauna.
Nobody cares.
What's your download, Shauna?
Okay, well,
girl, I've been talking. I'm sorry.
No,
this is that kind of show, y'all. This is a current event show. We're going to talk about what's going on in our lives, what's going on now. So yeah, Shauna, what's going on?
So I like the little pop culture reference in there because I'm going to talk
You're gonna
about
dive
strictly
into it.
business and boring stuff that people don't want to know anything about or probably never heard of. And
People do like
I'm
to hear
doing this
about that.
because yeah, well, I mean, sometimes you miss a lot of things that are in the news because you heard of this 24-hour news cycle and
Yeah,
things just
stuff
keep
is like
on
the Krishan
going.
Rock stuff. You never heard of her, but it's like
Yeah,
mainstream topic now.
right. And sometimes people do shit just to keep getting in the news cycle.
But
Like
I
you know what I
said
mean?
that to say that I think she's more famous than what Blueface is, and I think that
Mm,
he can't handle that, and that annoys him.
mm.
Like now she can break up with him, and now to just be Krishan Rock, and she doesn't have to be with him.
Oh,
And like everybody were calling them like the modern Ike and Tina. Tina was never happy with Ike. She was just Whitney and Bobby. They weren't happy.
what
That
about
was not happiness.
Left Eye and what's the
Andre
football Andre Rising?
Harrell or
Andre Rising.
Andre. Oh, I'm sorry. Bless
That's
his
funny.
heart. He's in heaven. Is Andre Harrell gone? Oh,
Hilarious.
child. Yes, he is.
Mm-hmm.
I think Andre Harrell gone. But anyway, if he not gone, I think it's one of those situations, and it's like sometimes like men need to be very cautious, and I think that's why a lot of women don't have or didn't have power, is because men are scared that the women are going to come on and like take over them.
Oh, okay.
I saw this story. Okay, what's your download?
No,
girl,
I mean that's on the Women's History Month theme. I like it.
It is.
Mhm.
So I saw this story about this lady who was the first lady. What's that? It's a statue like this, the Dominican Republic.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. The
What's
one
her
with the
name?
arms outstretched.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
It was this lady who was like the first lady of the country. What's that country? Dominican Republic.
Okay.
So she was a preacher. She grew up in the favelas, and what is her name? It's irritating me. Anyway, so she was a pastor, and she grew up with all this wealth, and she grew up in the ghetto. She adopted all these kids, and she married one of the kids that she adopted.
Ooh.
He was 15 years younger than her. So anyway, he got more famous than her. And because she was like supposed to be like this famous woman that would go in and heal people. And she got rich off preaching the gospel, just like one of these rich preachers. Girl, I heard so many preacher stories recently. But anyway, I said that to say that she got scared that he was getting more famous than her. And she killed him. Had the kids kill him. She had 39 kids that she adopted, and she had one of the kids kill him because she was scared that he was getting more famous than her.
Mm-mm.
Said that to say this.
Oh, wow.
What you downloading on, Shauna? I'm sorry.
Well, anyway, I was just going to go along with this theme of the 24-hour news cycle and, how things just fall in and out. Like, that's a story I had never heard, but there's so many stories that cycle through. It's interesting to think about how certain stories get cycled in and out.
Yeah.
And I saw this little tidbit about how, so Google Trends did a research study about news stories and how long they last, and they found that they think stories last in the news for 7 days at least before they're like gone, before people forget about them or they're not covered anymore. So that made me think because as I was like thinking about current events for today, there were a lot of things that I saw that I don't hear much about anymore, or no one's really talking about, right? Like, I mean, that's way old, right? That's like, but I'm talking about things that happened just this year that are out of the news cycle for the most part. I mean, sometimes they come in and out because developments, but really, once they're presented or once things happen, then they're pretty much gone. So I have a few stories that I wonder if you heard of before, and I wonder if you think they lasted longer than the 7 days in the news cycle or shorter than 7 days. All right. So did you hear about the Norfolk Southern train derailment?
No.
Okay, so there was a train that was driving through East Palestine, Ohio. 50 cars long.
East Palestine, Ohio, child.
Mm-hmm, exactly. So it was on fire for miles before it derailed. And
were there passengers on this train?
No, it was just carrying hazardous chemicals.
Okay.
So when it derailed, it like produced all these clouds of noxious
And people
fumes.
don't know that that's how we deliver chemicals and things
Yes.
of that nature,
Trains,
because they can't
trucks.
fly them. They have to
Yeah,
go
they
through
definitely can't fly
trains. So
'em.
trains
Yeah.
will never go away.
Right.
We need trains.
Right.
Okay.
Yep. So that happened on February 3rd. How do you think that? I mean, since you never heard of it, you can't tell me whether or not you think it lasted more than 7 days. Do you think it? Would you make a guess that it lasted more than 7 days?
I wouldn't think it would. I think that the powers that be, because I don't know who's in charge of that, made sure to cover that up, made sure to say it was something else. And it could have been something else.
Well, I know Donald Trump made a big deal about it because he said that Biden doesn't care about the people of Ohio. I mean, of course, this is like a more conservative voting
Yes.
town, predominantly white. Um, and they feel like they were overlooked in the news media, that no one was talking about it and no one cares about them because they're just working class white people. So that was a issue that they brought up, is that they didn't get enough news coverage.
It's so funny what people do to win elections.
Yeah, right.
The little things.
Oh yeah, it's all
That was not a mistake that train
intentional.
caught fire.
Mm.
That's all I have to say. And if the people of Ohio are upset, look at the people who are speaking out about it more so than the people who are not.
Mm-hmm. So that happened February 3rd. Another incident that happened on February 3rd was the Chinese spy balloons. Did you hear about this?
Unfortunately, I did hear about those spy balloons that unfortunately weren't spy balloons at all.
What do you mean they weren't spy balloons? They were spy
they were
balloons.
like party balloons.
Oh, stop. No, they were definitely Chinese spy balloons. The Defense Department said that it had surveillance equipment attached to the balloon. They shot it down. It belonged to the Chinese government. It was designed to spy on U.S. military sites. It was first spotted over Montana. There was one actually spotted in Wisconsin. Did you not hear about this?
No.
Yeah, there was one in Wisconsin too that they found, and I think it drifted over and they ended up shooting it down somewhere else. But
that's scary.
do you think that lasted more than 7 days in the news cycle?
Yes, that definitely lasted.
They
made that on
time,
Saturday Night Live. There was a skit about those balloons on Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, they definitely talked about that a lot.
Okay.
What about Tyree Nichols? So
who?
Tyree Nichols was the young man who was beaten by 5 police officers in Memphis.
Only reason I said who is because I want to make sure that people know about the story.
Tyree Nichols, right? So he was that young man who was stopped for,
and those 5 police officers
I don't know why.
beat him because one of them were dating the same woman.
No, that's not true. They debunked that.
That wasn't true?
No, that wasn't. I mean, people are going to throw things out there because we want to justify. We want to
justify the police killing somebody,
but we want a reason for that level of brutality. Like it must be, but no, there was just no explanation. There's no justification for that.
In regards to that situation, how do you feel? Do you feel like the police went too far?
Yeah. What do you mean? Did they? Absolutely, they went too far. And not only did they go too far, but the people who
wasn't he a wanted person?
No,
wasn't he wanted?
He had no warrants. There was no reason for him to be brutalized that way. And they beat him. And then people who came to the scene who are hired to help people in distress stood around while he was beaten and asking for help and did not render any aid to this man.
That is disgusting.
Yeah, it's just hard to even talk about. That is
awful.
But that happened January 7th. I don't know. I feel like we've stopped talking about that. But recently today, a lieutenant with the Memphis Police Department who was at the traffic stop, who came and kind of like supervised the whole situation, he actually filed for retirement before the hearing. There was a hearing scheduled, a disciplinary hearing to fire him, and he retired before he could get to that hearing.
I want to just make a point, and I really want to say this, and I really want to be taken serious when I say this. I really wanted to say that was a black on black crime because those police officers were majority African American, correct?
They're all black.
They're all black.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see if they were paid in any way to do that.
Paid.
Around this time, We never know who contacted. Maybe I watched too many shows. Maybe I watched too many movies. But this is happening around election time. And I know some black officers, and black officers at this time are the most sensitive officers that I have ever encountered. They are very, even the old asshole ones have come to realize that, hey, it's time to like, and I'm not saying that I'm pro police or not. I'm definitely pro police because if something go on, that's who I'm gonna call. Ghostbusters, the police. But I'm just saying that um to think that police were invented or is derivation a word?
Der- der- derivative. I don't know. I'm sorry.
Yeah, the derivation.
Deprivation.
No,
What are
the
you trying to describe?
deprivation is taking something away from
Yeah.
you.
What are you trying to
I'm
describe?
talking about the invention or the ideal around the police was to
Oh,
capture slaves.
yes, yes.
Um,
Like deriving or something like that from that kind of word. Yeah,
I'm
I
just
know.
putting a shun on
Yeah,
it.
so it's like the
Deviration.
it comes from. I like it. I like it. It does come from like the overseers. Yes.
It comes from
Yeah.
the overseers in regards to um catching slaves. And I want people to really understand that people in politics are the dirtiest people ever. And they will pay out any money that they can to make anybody do something. Imagine if you, and I'm not taking up for the police, and I'm just saying, think about it.
Mm,
All these black police officers, this one boy who has never done nothing,
mm.
the year before the election starts, kill this black man. They killed him, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
The police officers.
Yeah.
Oh,
they killed him.
absolutely. They killed him.
Killed this black man.
Hmm.
They all finna do time. They not finna do life.
Well, we'll see.
We don't know.
Yeah, we don't know.
We don't know.
Yeah.
But they killed
They
this
pled
black
not
man.
guilty. They've all pled not guilty.
They killed this black man. So if they get away with it, even if they get 5 years, 4 years, 2 years, a year and a day, we really need to think about who, if they got some money from this. Because to me, this sounds like a political ambush to gain media attention to take away from what's really going on. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. Yeah.
To me, it sounds like, hey, somebody paid these men to do this, to be guinea pigs in this situation, to have the whole world. Because stuff like that happens these days, and people don't understand that stuff like this happens. It happens.
Yeah.
Millionaires don't have nothing to do. If they've paid all their bills and they don't have nothing to do with their money, and you still got $60 million in your account, what can I do? Let me fuck up the economy. Let me fuck up the world. Let me do this, and it's only gonna cost me $50,000 because I can pay this black man $50,000. He gonna be okay. You know what I'm saying? Just think about stuff outside of the box.
I know. Yeah.
It just doesn't make sense that these black officers would kill this black man for nothing.
Well, I think it's also I don't want to say it's notable that these 3 of the 5 officers were members of the black fraternity Omega Psi Phi, and they took a stance against those, and they revoked the memberships of 3 of those officers that killed Tyree Nichols, and I think that is very telling of what the response was, and how that was a statement of how these historically black institutions, these fraternities and sororities who were created to exemplify
togetherness,
black
brotherhood.
community brotherhood, right, would say. And Tyree Nichols wasn't an Omega Psi Phi.
No.
But they said he was a member of the black community and the black human experience, and we can't have it. So so they condemned those officers, and
as they should.
And I think that sometimes we think of and institutions like fraternities and so Black Greek life as separate from the culture, or like it's a sub genre or a subgroup,
Or hierarchy.
yeah, or a hierarchy. But
Mhm.
I think that was a powerful statement for them to make. What about um, Brittany Griner? And
What
she
about
was
Brittany?
released from she was released during this prisoner exchange on December 8th. Do you think that that made it was more than 7 days in the news cycle? Her whole prisoner, the whole idea of her
Yes.
being a prisoner
Yes.
seemed like it lasted forever,
I
didn't it?
think so. And I think people are excited to see that because we can see that something came out of that situation. We think something positive came out of that situation, but who did we exchange her for?
Some Russian arms dealer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, so this was a tactical move by Russia.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Was it
most things
smart?
are
Was it a smart move by Russia? Yes.
probably.
That
They're in
person
war
who
right now. They're at
arrested
war.
that person who arrested Brittany Griner, do you think that they rose in high they rose higher in status because they did that? 100%. That
Mhm.
person could have been a police officer. Now they're probably a commissioner
Mhm.
or a captain.
Mhm.
Um, I think that our world, we are so plain view that all we see is what's in front of us. We don't see the directors and the producers in the back producing and pulling strings on stuff.
Mm.
So the Brittany Griner situation is still being talked about, but that's because it was meant to still being talked about.
Mm.
So we'll talk about Brittany, but we're not going to talk about the person who we exchanged for her
You're
freedom,
right. That's interesting.
because that person is now doing what they need to do to help. I ain't gonna
Yeah,
say
some
nothing.
people did say it. Well, that's my download.
Look at that. I'm sorry if I interrupted your download.
No, that was good. That's what this is about. Exchange.
An exchange of
That's
information.
right.
Well, like every episode, we have our menu question. Shauna, what's your medium question?
Okay, I'm gonna try to shake a little bit more out of this shaker before we.
Child, yes.
It's just like water, though.
I'll probably need a little agua on top of this.
Right. Okay.
Well, I'll have one. My first question is, oh, that's kind of like a hot question. What would your civil rights movement be?
What would my civil rights movement be?
Ooh, that's a deep question.
That's a good one. Um, hmm. Hmm. I
You gotta
think
think about it, girl.
I think my civil rights movement would be more about like Black unity.
Black unity.
Black
I
unity.
agree. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Yeah,
So in line with
I think there's
mine.
a lot of disharmony in the Black community. And I
1000%.
know we're not a monolith. I know we're not all the same, but I think we have some blind spots in how we treat each other, how
Oh
we react
yes.
to each other, think about Tyree Nichols that we just talked about. Think
Yeah.
about colorism what we've discussed on this show, education,
Hearing colorism.
policing,
Yeah.
status, class.
Yeah.
You know, in the city of Milwaukee, we're so segregated, and there's like very little
1000%
unity. I think we don't have enough unity amongst people of color, and I think that's important because, how do we make progress? I think about in Milwaukee how the NAACP Youth Council came together. They had goals to move forward, and that really pushed a lot of civil rights to happen. Vel Phillips, all of these Black leaders, and I don't know if we're doing that as much as we used to anymore. I think.
Do you think
so
Black people are
insular.
tired of being like pro-Black, tired of fighting for Black freedoms and liberties and stuff? Like, shit, I just want to live. Like, why do I gotta fight to be me? You know, I think a lot of Black people are at that point where they're like, child, I don't give a fuck about all that. Just how much I make.
I think Black people, I don't know. I wish
We've grown
I
to be
could
such
live
a
in another
selfish people.
part of the country for a little while just to see how things are different, because I think they really are. But in the Midwest in particular, I think that we're really individualistic. I think that we're not as communal as we need to be
No, we're
in the
not.
Midwest. And I think that people are very concerned about status.
You know what? I have been watching. Do you watch Hunters on Amazon Prime?
No.
It is about this group of people who are taking down Nazis, and Hitler is still alive in this, and they're trying to kill Hitler. And what I got out of this is like the Jewish people, the Jewish faith, the Jewish culture have bonded together so strong. You don't hear about many Jewish on Jewish crimes.
Mm.
You don't hear about the Jewish community doing too much. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I think with this whole Kanye West Jewish people debacle, I think Black people, I think what he meant, not taking up for him, but I think his purpose was to say that Black people went through 400 years of slavery, which was far more, well, I don't want to even compare it to the Holocaust, which was in sync with the Holocaust.
Well, right.
Yeah.
The Holocaust happened later, like much later.
Much later. I think slavery was happening while the Holocaust was going on.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, it was after slavery.
It was after slavery was abolished, but Black people were still
right. The impact.
The lower of the totem pole is what I'm trying to say.
Absolutely.
So I think his point was to say that the Jewish people are given so much accolades, and they've been given so many rights, and they can go to Supreme Court and have laws written for them, but Black people can't.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, yeah. I mean, and to your point about, things that happened years ago and how they still impact us now. I mean, I think about schooling and how in Milwaukee there's there's a lot of news around, certain school districts that have a lot of fights and violence. And, then you look at the news and you see the footage of the fights, and guess who it is?
Black kids.
Absolutely. Black girls in particular.
Yeah.
And we think that it's just like, oh, well, that's just our character to just like brutalize each other and fight each other. But like, it's been designed for so many years. And then I think there's a lot to say about like how trauma impacts, every facet of our existence, that it's the presence of our experience as Black people in this world is not just it hasn't just gone away. I mean, it's still there. And I think we're still dealing with it. Our children are still dealing with it.
These kids have I don't care tendency. Yeah. The mentality is, I don't care.
Yeah.
If it's not paying me, if I'm not making money, if it's not instant gratification, I don't care.
Right. So
they can't see the long run.
So yeah, Black unity will be my civil rights movement.
Yeah, I think that will be mine too. What's your first question, Shauna?
Okay, so this is a mouthful, but I wanted to do, I know in our John the Replay episode, I did a shit you should care about, but might not.
Okay.
So I want to talk about a few news stories, and I want you to tell me whether or not you do care or do not care. All right, you down with that?
Let it go.
Okay. So the first story is, have you heard about this Mexican cartel? There were some Black Americans who went to get a tummy tuck in Mexico and were kidnapped by the Scorpion Group.
Yes.
And I think 2 of them were killed and 2 of them were rescued.
Yes.
And there are like 100,000, over 100,000 nationals missing in Mexico right now.
Yes.
The cartels are suspected to be involved in these disappearances. But do you care about Mexican cartels?
I need to say this clearly because the cartel is real shit. I care about the cartel, but I don't care enough to get in their business. Yeah.
Okay.
The cartel is nothing to play with.
Okay.
Only because they have so much money.
They're like Illuminati.
See, the people have the Illuminati mixed up. Illuminati means to bring light to, and what the Illuminati was designed to do was to bring light to the false prophets and false words of God. So that's what the Illuminati was
Okay.
originally designed for.
Okay. But the
So
cartels is just about
I'm
drug
not
money.
scared of the Illuminati. The Illuminatis
Are you scared of the
good
cartel?
people. To be scared means that I've done something to the cartel. I just respect the cartel.
Those folks that went for a tummy tuck to Mexico, they were not even
Hell
thinking
no.
about the cartel.
Listen, if you're gonna get any plastic surgery, get it done in the US.
It's gonna cost you.
I don't care. It's gonna cost you your freedom. It's gonna cost you your sanity, and it's gonna be insured. You're gonna know if something go wrong, you can get that shit fixed as long as you're alive.
Right.
Get it done in the US.
Okay, you're right. Okay, so the next news story. So recently they traced the origins of the coronavirus to a species called the raccoon dog that was sold in the Wuhan market in early 2020. The raccoon dog.
They breeded a raccoon and a dog.
No, it existed already.
It was already a raccoon dog.
Specifically, they said it was a bat. Remember, they kept saying it was a bat. No, there's not a bat. It wasn't a bat. It was a raccoon dog. It's not. Dog is not a raccoon. It looks like a raccoon. It has a face that looks like a raccoon, but it's a dog.
Like a dog.
The body looks like a dog. It's crazy.
It's for them pet lovers, the people that love dogs and pets and stuff. To be letting them dogs lick them in the face and stuff. Y'all spread COVID. No, I'm joking.
So, do you care about the origin of the
Hell
coronavirus?
yes. COVID changed our world, our lives. And I didn't even know it until I was doing this training at work. And it was an article about like COVID. I'm like, damn, COVID just happened 2020. They writing training articles and stuff about COVID and the impact and this global pandemic. Like, yes, after COVID, we don't know how much that 2 months off work in the house changed the world and our lives and everything. Yes.
Yeah, that was definitely a hard time.
They need to have this dog on shirts saying stay away from me. I cause pandemics.
Okay, next thing you should care about and probably don't. Let's see. Okay, so now I'm a farmer advocacy organization. They're claiming that the egg prices are so high because egg producers are colluding to set prices of eggs by exaggerating the effects of the bird flu.
I kind of agree. And I think farmers need to because they've been so lowballed for so long. I grew up on a farm in Mississippi. So people who own farmers have been so lowballed by mega corporations and companies that they found a way to get their profits finally. They found a way to sleep at night and be happy and not worry about their crops next season, not worried about their farms. That's a raccoon dog. Wow.
Sorry.
That's like not even a dog, right? It's like an actual animal. It's
not a damn raccoon. You see them legs?
Child, that is a big old raccoon. That's like them raccoons that be in the ghetto.
It's not a raccoon anyway.
I know. It's a dog, right? It's another animal.
I think it's a canine species or whatever. Okay, go ahead. Sorry, we're not talking about the coronavirus anymore. We're talking about eggs. Bird flu.
So yeah, I think farmers deserve to get this little nudge right quick, and people need to stop eating eggs so damn much.
What's wrong with eggs?
That's what I'm saying. Like,
it's nature's perfect food.
Well, I mean, like, what is the egg prices? Like, I can go like months without eating eggs.
Oh my God, I probably eat eggs like 3 or 4 times a week.
No, I can't remember the last time I ate an egg.
You don't put them in cakes?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I have eaten a cookie, my fat ass.
Right. Cookies, cakes. What else? Pie.
All your sweet stuff.
Yeah, all that stuff. Damn. Some drinks have eggs. Egg whites.
Barf. You like that.
Okay, next one. Microsoft rolled out its advanced artificial intelligence called ChatGPT-4. Have you heard about this ChatGPT?
If not.
Yeah, it's like a little chat bot, and it's more sophisticated because it doesn't just like take word prompts. You can drop pictures in it and it'll like produce all these results? Do you care about it or not? It's the
care
beginning of
about it,
robots.
Cause Megan's real.
Okay, the last one. You already talked about Donald Trump, so obviously you kind of care. So this last one, there is a 10 million pound blob of floating seaweed headed for Florida, called the Great Atlantic Sargassum Belt. Do you care?
Yes, because my sister's in Florida.
Yeah, and it's gonna make the whole coast stinky, and people are gonna go to Florida, and it's gonna smell bad, and it's gonna suck.
Awful.
So you do care about the seaweed?
I do care.
Okay, that's my regular.
I had to
question.
hold back a cough, and that's hard to do.
You need some water.
No, let me try to drink something.
What's your medium question?
My medium question. Hold on, I moved from my question. Out of a pack of Oreo cookies, how many cookies can you eat in one setting?
A pack? Like what's a pack?
Like, you know, you go get the Oreos from Walmart.
And then you just eat Oreos?
Yeah, how many Oreos can you eat in one sitting?
Okay, so I try to restrain myself.
Okay.
So then if I'm like being conservative and I'm like, all right, that's enough, then I'll eat 4.
4? I'm just asking. 4 little Oreo cookies.
4.
Is too much.
And so I usually buy the Oreo thins.
There's 10 calories less than the original. I checked today. I'm fat.
10 calories can add up.
Oh,
But
yeah.
I'll do 4. But then like if I'm being real fat, I'll eat like 6.
6 cookies and you'll feel fat.
I'm like, oh God, that's disgusting.
I had like 6 today and I want some ice cream. Sorry.
Okay, did you want more after the 6?
I want to go home and eat some more.
You want 6 more?
I do.
You want to eat a dozen for the day?
No, I don't want my daily dozen, but I could. I mean,
some people could probably eat that whole pack or like half.
Some people on my 600-pound life will probably eat the whole sleeve.
Oreos are so good. You get you some milk.
Especially like the lemon one.
I haven't had the lemon. Have you
Where security guards always like dead looking? Like,
oh my gosh,
what the fuck up?
Would you prefer to dip Oreos in almond milk, oat milk, or regular cow's milk?
I need the mew sound. I have tried almond milk and I've tried regular milk. It's not the same.
Mm-mm.
I need regular cow milk with some ice in it to dunk my Oreos, and I'll feel wonderful. Do you put ice in your milk?
No, but
I put ice in my cereal.
oh, I have done that. Do you dunk your cookies in coffee?
No, and I don't even understand coffee cakes and why people eat those things. No.
Would you dunk a donut in coffee?
Hell no.
I know that's disgusting.
Would you put bourbon in your coffee?
Hell yeah. Okay. Anyway, my medium question. Okay. So I was reading about this theory that this woman named this British psychologist named Robin Dunbar came up with, and she said that humans are only cognitively able to maintain about 150 connections at once. Okay. So she's saying that, we are only able to have an inner circle of about 5 close friends, and then like the rest would be like the 145 would be like these concentric circles of like these casual friendships. So like you got your 5 close friends, and then like you got the outer circles, and then like you got these different levels or layers of friendships.
Mm-hmm.
There's also been studies about this. Some people think that having 6 or more friends improve your health. There's a study of
friends improve your health.
Yeah, there's a study that says there is also a study that said that 55% of people believe that 2 to 3 close friends are ideal, and then 31% think that 4 to 5 is the goal. What do you think is the ideal number of friends to have?
I don't think there's a limit on how many friends, like actual friends, you can have. Because
But
you
what
have
about inner close friends? How many?
inner close friends. I think it's really good to juggle like 5 a year.
A year?
Yeah.
Wait, are these 5 new ones or these might be the same
No,
ones?
these are the same ones.
Oh, okay.
And maybe like you have 4 old ones and bring in a new friend. Because sometimes your old friends can wear you out. You're tired of hearing about the same shit they go through. You're tired of this. You're tired of that. So you just need to bring somebody new into the fold. But that doesn't mean that you stop being friends to the other 4 people. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And friends need to understand that people can be drawn the fuck out.
Mhm.
Don't think just because you and a friend kicked it tough one week that y'all gonna kick it tough the whole rest of the week. Somebody went home and changed clothes, child.
Leave him alone.
But some people think that you just can be. You got to be friends. You got to call each other every day. I will be glad to not hear from my friends for a couple of days because then when we talk, the conversation gonna be juicy. I can hear about everything that you didn't tell me about that happened. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Yes.
So I think 5 friends is sufficient for the year. You cycle friends out. It's some friends that I love dearly that I'm just not fucking with right now.
I see.
Just because 2023, I'm just not fucking with people who not fucking with me.
Okay. So 5 is your final answer.
5.
Okay.
I probably got more than 5, but 5 is like the goal.
The inner circle.
The inner
Yeah, got
circle.
it. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What about for you? You a mom.
feel
Moms
like-
really don't need
Yeah, I
friends.
mean, I feel like 3 to 4 inner circle. 3 to 4 inner circle.
3 or 4
Inner circle.
inner circle.
Yeah, maybe 5 sometimes. Like you said, like sometimes it is 5.
Friends get jealous so much,
Oh
don't
my
they?
God.
Why friends get jealous? Maybe that's a whole nother show.
Woo.
Are you a jealous friend?
Well, I don't know if it's jealousy more than it is envy.
Mm,
And
I
those
don't
are
think
2
it's
different
envy.
things.
I think some people grow up and they think friends are supposed to be consummate that person, but sometimes all the times friends have their own lives.
Mm,
And you as a friend need to understand that friend of mine is doing what they need to do to be happy. As long as my friend is happy right now, let them be happy. They're gonna come back around and need me. I'm gonna do my check-ins. But hey, you happy right now, but you probably got a new job. You throwing yourself into your new job. I can't expect us to go out for drinks every night and kick it because you can't wake up in the morning and go to your new job. You know what I'm saying?
right. Interesting.
It's a new show, child.
Yep, that's my medium question.
Oh, okay. Well, this is my last question.
Okay, I got one more too.
Okay, good. Do you think that vegans are being taken serious?
I mean, I feel like at first when it like really popped off in the news cycle about veganism or, just like more so in social media than anything. I mean, now it's just more normalized, but I think in the beginning, it was niche and kind of cool and like it took some discipline to do that and money.
Do you
Let me
wanna
say
live the rest
that.
of your life not eating certain shit?
Well, it's expensive too. I mean, like
Why should it be
cashew
expensive to
meats
be
and all
healthy?
kinds of stuff they were eating.
Right.
I mean, that stuff is not
Cheap.
People complaining about the price of eggs. How about the price of
Of
like
healthy food,
mushrooms and, like,
yes.
what
Vitamins, good vitamins.
yeah, like or meat substitutes or like a lot of vegan cheese is not cheap or and then like having to know what to eat and not just eat the same stuff. Or I remember when veganism came out, or I mean, like thinking about reading about it, and so they were just, oh, Oreos are vegan, or you know what I mean, like, or
They are.
yeah,
'Cause I'm
Oreos are
gonna go
vegan.
home and eat some more vegan Oreos. Well, what brought me to that question? Well, I'm holding the mic like I'm Prince. What brought me to that question was I was at the dollar store and I saw this lady like with a cart of frozen shit for her kids, and I'm like, or for herself. Like, I want to be a vegan at this point.
At the dollar store.
At the dollar
Oh
store,
yeah, they got a whole section now.
frozen pizzas.
Yeah, they got a lot of stuff. They got a lot of stuff. I mean, there's a
So,
lot of vegan. I mean, the vegan grocery store aisle or whatever, like the cauliflower pizzas and
disgusting.
all kinds of vegan stuff you can get.
Have you had
these
cauliflower
days.
pizza
I
before?
like it. I actually like it.
I don't like the texture.
It's not bad. You gotta get the right one.
I have an expensive one.
Yeah, it's not bad. You get the one from Costco. It's good.
Mm,
Milton's, I think it's called. That's
okay.
good. That's a good one. Anyway, so yeah, I mean, it's not cheap, and but now I think people kind of they're making it more accessible, and then like sometimes people who are meat eaters like vegan things. Like I love vegan bakery, like a good vegan cookie, like a
I've never
vegan
had a
cake.
vegan cookie or
Oh my god,
cake.
like a
Everything that
outpost.
I've had that was vegan was so airy. Like it tastes like air.
I feel like it's dense. I feel like it's most of their bakery is pretty dense. But I mean, like now they make all kinds of meat substitutes that, I mean, I guess that's not the point of being vegan, is to just eat a bunch of Boca burgers or whatever. But I don't know. I think there's a lot more accessibility to the veganism. So I mean, I think it's definitely okay.
Okay.
I think we got comfortable. You think so?
Okay.
You think we got comfortable with veganism?
I think people are being vegans to be in chic and not to be actually because
Oh,
being vegan is like
they talk about it too much.
to
They
be
want everybody
vegan
to
is
know.
to say like I don't eat meat because or I don't eat this because it's a spiritual thing. And I think we are taking away from like the whole experience of being a vegan because it's supposed to be like a spiritual awakening.
Oh, I didn't know that. I just thought it was
Yeah.
about health
Yeah,
or
it's
the
a spiritual
environment or
awakening.
like loving
It's a
animals or
spiritual
whatever.
awakening.
Okay, I see.
Yeah, so you get more in touch with the animals. Like, oh, I can't eat anything that has a heartbeat and stuff like that.
Okay.
You know.
Mm,
But when
right.
you think about it, wheat is a bacteria, right?
What is?
Wheat.
Oh, like the weeds that grow from the ground?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And when we eat it, it's a living organism, right?
Weeds aren't a bacteria. They're just a plant, right?
Plants are bacteria written, right?
I mean, it can be.
They're bacteria and plants that help them grow.
Right. That's right.
Anything that grows has bacteria in it, first of all, Shauna.
It could.
You're a political science major. You should know. I'm joking. I'm joking.
I don't know what that has to do with bacteria.
Nothing at all.
Mm.
Tangent time.
Right. That's funny.
All right. So
Last
like every
que- I
show.
got- wait, I
Okay.
got
What's your
one
show?
last-
Okay.
dang,
Okay.
I
Okay.
got
Okay.
one last
I'm like, I cut you
question.
off. Okay.
So I couldn't not talk about Women's History Month. I think I might have mentioned it earlier in the show, but I have a little scenario for you.
Okay.
Okay,
Why
so-
is Women's History after Black History Month?
That's a good question.
Get these
Wonder.
motherfuckers out the way. Is that what they said? No, I'm joking.
They just put all the history months all in a row.
What's April History Month?
Isn't there like a Latino Hispanic History Month
That's
coming
in
up?
May.
That's in May.
That's
I don't
May,
know.
right? I
I don't
think.
even know. Don't even
I
give me
should
the-
know. As a pledged Latino.
Wow.
I
Wow. Okay.
pledged Latino. Okay.
You
Go
got
ahead.
your papers on you?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's say you had to be a woman for 1 month.
Okay. This coochie would not be any good. No, I'm joking.
So your appearance changes to look like a woman,
Okay.
and you'd be a new person. You'd be
bad
who you
bitch.
are.
Okay.
So at the end of the month, you are given the choice to change back to who you are
Uh-huh.
or receive $1 billion for continuing to be that woman, but everyone else sees you as a man.
What?
What choice would you make?
First of all, turn your mic around, Tone. Second of all,
Okay,
I would
run
definitely
that, okay.
continue to
Tone
be-
said run that back. So
okay.
So
okay.
you had to be a woman for a month. You look like a woman, and you'd be like you won't be you as dressed up as a woman. You'd be a new woman.
Okay.
At the end of the month, you're given a choice to change back to who you are or receive $1 billion to continue to be that woman, but everyone else sees you as a man, who you are. What choice would you make?
Whoa. This is a really deep question because, and I only say that because this is what a lot of transgender women face
Interesting.
on a daily
Mm,
basis.
mm.
I would be a trans. I would be trans with $1 billion any day. But that's an ignorant response to make. Only because
You say give me the $1 billion to be,
and I said that would be an ignorant response to make because we are so fascinated with money that we are blinded by anything else, by happiness, by anything else. I could be this transgender person with $1 billion and I could be depressed and everything else because people think that rich people are the happiest ever when they are some of the most depressed and suicidal people ever. Trust me, I know. And that's because we didn't come from that billions of dollars. You know what I'm saying? But listen, I will always want to be myself. There is no amount of money that could pay me not to be me because I am happy who I am.
Okay. It's Tone, we gotta get you.
And I'm just bullshitting because if you give me $1 billion, oh no.
Wait, we gotta put Tone on the mic. Tone, the mic, get on there. Come on. Get on the mic.
Everything Tyler said is true. But though, the one thing I can do with $1 billion that a lot of transsexuals are doing with what they have is I'm going to get an operation if I am not happy with the skin that I am in. Now, I'm not trans, so I don't know how people feel in regards to this. I knew I was a man before I became a woman in the name of everything. And now I am going to go back and be a man. So even though I'm a woman on the inside, I don't feel like a woman. I feel like a man because that's where my mentality has been this whole time, except for that 1 month that I made this, VH1 show or whatever. That's basically something like a VH1 show. So in this point, I have $1 billion. Now, I'm not.
I said billion.
She said $1 billion. Okay. So on one side of the coin, I'm always going to be happy with who I am, no matter what I look like. If you personally know me, you definitely know that I've had, I went through a lot and I'm still loving who I am. And it's not going to change me who I am. I'm at that age where, I'm a woman, so be it. I'm cool with the way I am. But I got $1 billion. Not because I'm now safe and secure and my kids are safe and secure and my family is good, but now I can do things for my community that I want to do with this $1 billion. You see what I'm saying? Like now I can do more. And now I can do more as a transgender. So now my cause got a little extra on it. Okay. I'm black, I'm trans, and I have $1 billion. Stop to see if you can stop me now. Because I guarantee you there's something that you're offending me for.
Wow. I loved y'all's take on that question. I mean,
what would you do, Shauna? What you gonna do?
Okay, so are you saying that I would for a month be a man?
Be a man.
What? Is that what they do? Is that what men do?
Is that what you would do?
No.
What would you do with your dick?
Nothing. What do you mean? Okay, wait.
I'm gonna tell you now. However horny you are as a woman, imagine that 10 times as a man.
Really? Are you sure?
Gay or straight, you get horny a lot.
And the fact your tail's on you.
I mean, maybe I would be fascinated by the fact that it's there. I mean, I'd be like, okay, like, how do I work this? Like, I gotta.
However you work it now, it's how you'd work it. And you'll figure it out. Because I'm telling you.
Okay, so then somebody gives me $1 billion to either stay a man or, stay a man. Wait, no, be a woman but look like a man.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's interesting because men are treated differently than women.
I was gonna say that. Yes.
I mean, that's just a different thing.
Yes.
That y'all are asking me. I mean, do y'all realize how different that experience?
Yes.
Would be?
1000%. I realize how different it is.
I mean, I would even say that women who transition to be men, their experience is much different.
Yes, than men who transition to be women.
I mean, there are people who are. I've heard this argument that the trans movement, male to female, is still a man's movement.
I can see that.
I've heard that argument. It's still like men's rights.
I think it's more accepted. Yeah,
it's
1000%.
Yeah,
yes,
that is still about men's rights.
Yes.
So
and I say that because a lot of gay men can look at a trans man and be like, "Damn, he a fine man." Yeah, it happens.
Mhm.
And a lot of gay men have an issue looking at a trans woman and saying, "Oh, she is such a pretty woman," and wanting to have sex with her. It's a difference. But we can look at it and be like, "Oh, she pretty
Yeah,
as
gender
hell,
dynamics.
but I don't want to have
die.
sex with her now. Now my sexual commission is gone."
Mhm.
Even though
Oh, Tom.
transition is occurring, it's no matter what, unless you like get the beard and everything to hide a lot of your feminine
Yeah.
traits, I still see you as a woman.
That's right.
under all that.
That's right. Well,
Nah.
Prime example. Prime example.
we'll give you a mic.
Prime example. Ellen Page. Is that her name?
Oh, Elliot.
Elliot Page.
Yes.
Prime
Page,
example.
Elliot Page, right?
If you've ever watched Umbrella Academy in so many words, you've seen her transition
Mhm.
in the show because they even brung it up that she's like, "Hey, I want to go by such and such now," and the family was like, "Okay, cool." I don't care how far she goes with it in this moment. I still see her as the girl who was pregnant in Juno. It's
Okay.
hard for me to get past that initial look of hers. And it's not that I don't respect him
Mhm.
as the way he is, but visually, I can't get past that. So if we're all out the bar and we looking at booties together in the whole 9 yards, and she makes a comment about a chick that she wants to go hit on, I might
Or
be like,
he.
or he.
Don't misgender
That's it.
Elliot
And
Page.
see, this is the point I'm making.
Uh-huh.
I respect what you're doing because it's your body, your choice. We gonna be men together.
Well,
but
it's more than body, it's identity.
it's identity.
Yeah.
That's what I should say. It's
Mhm.
more identity than anything because you get some people that don't even make the change and they still want to be acknowledged as being that. It's the fact that mentally it's going to take me a while because I still see the feminine,
That's right.
the strong feminine nature of you.
Yes. Okay. Oh, so okay.
Still big, right?
Yeah, it is. So woo. Okay. So you're taking the $1 billion.
I'm still taking $1 billion. I got
Okay.
shit to do.
Okay.
Sum it up in a nutshell.
Okay. You're taking the $1 billion. Tyler, are you taking the $1 billion? Or
$1
are you going back to Ty?
I don't know. You confusing me with this money, this $1 billion. You see what you do to humans? Fuck it. I've been me for 42 years. I'm just gonna be the next bitch. I'll be the next bitch for the next 142 years. Okay.
All right, fine. Okay. Well, are we ready to delete?
We are. She did. She
Oh,
just said.
well, I mean, like I said, the experience is different for female to male. Yeah. I don't want to be a man.
You want to be a woman? I mean, of course you like being a woman.
Yeah, I do.
But if you had the choice, you'd rather be a woman than a man.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I see. That's the thing I was scared about because I don't know, because I'll be a bad bitch.
And I would be a bad.
You probably would be a bad NIDGA. But I'm just saying, like, the attention I get as a male, if I was a girl, it would be like, I need security. That's all I'm going to say.
There's more.
You
in
said
this
it takes
world.
more?
More in this world.
Oh, yeah,
to make
yeah.
someone
Yeah, you can only
a
dress
bad
a man
bitch
up
than-
so much. But
Well, I don't know. I mean, there's also other factors that make a man.
you can give him a haircut. You can trim his
Well,
brows.
no,
you can
make
fix
them.
his.
You make them kind. You make them intelligent. You make them.
We're talking about aesthetically. Yeah, that's just
Well,
your
I mean,
characteristic, not exactly your
I
visual
know.
aesthetic.
Okay, so
We're
okay,
talking about
that's what-
aesthetic wise, like
so
women
I
have
made it about
makeup,
aesthetics.
lashes. Yeah.
So I made it about aesthetics when I
when
asked the
you
question
said-
about people see a man.
Yes.
But they, okay, I
Yes.
see. Okay, you're right. Yeah. You
Always.
will always be you. That's right. That's why I like that question. I just made that up, y'all.
Me too, off
Okay.
the cuff. What you deleting, Shauna? I see.
$1 billion apparently, right? Well, I mean, we didn't really. I guess the underlying message is that the news is the news, and like there are just so many. There's like a reading between the lines. There's so much reading between the lines you have to do when you absorb the news and like what gets presented to us and what doesn't, So I want to delete this idea that like we can just take at face value and trust everything that we're presented with on the big news channels and like really dig deeper ourselves to find out what we might be missing.
That was a deep delete. I want to delete the notion of thinking that just because we're stressed out that we're bad people, or that
Ah.
I'm not a good person because I'm stressed out or going through something at this time. People deal with stress in different ways, and people move through life differently. So if you're stressed out, you're going through something, that don't make you a bad person. That just means you're getting your shit together. Keep on getting your shit together.
That's right.
Beat that stress. Don't let that stress beat you.
Love it.
So that's it. So up like every episode. Bye.
Bye. It's my deaf people applause.